let me tell you about one of my adventures. I was traveling around the world to experience exciting adventures. Now I found myself in a long-forgotten part of the Mitaku jungle. After days of travel and despite numerous warnings, I continued my search for an ancient temple buried deep within the jungle. Eventually, I was brought before what seemed to be some sort of entrance in the shape of a serpent's head. There was a sudden gust of wind coming from deep within the belly of the stone serpent. It sent shivers down my spine, and for a moment had me thinking about turning around. As I entered the cave, I was surrounded by strange noises and complete darkness. I grabbed one of my few remaining torches and lit it. A pathway was revealed, allowing me to navigate through the darkness. I walked for some time, until eventually I saw a light. What I beheld was truly breathtaking. I had found the great temple of the Mitaku people. It was the heart of the jungle. The trees stood tall, and the vegetation thrived on the fertile land. As I was taking in the overwhelming scale of the landscape, I paid little attention to my surroundings. I rushed over to get a better view of the grand temple that had eluded me for weeks. In my haste, my foot got snagged on a piece of rope, and before I had the chance to look down, I got thrust up into the air. The rope pulled my feet first, causing my head to collide with the ground, leaving me dazed, hanging upside down. As I hung there, what seemed like a shadow in the shape of a human appeared near the distance. The light started to fade, and my eyes reluctantly closed. I opened my eyes, and the figure was right in front of me. Shortly after, everything went black. As I was saying, when I awoke, I found myself face to face with a masked being. But before I could utter a single cry, he vanished. As I looked around the abandoned room, I noticed books and glass vials scattered all around, and a gaping entryway on the far side of the room. I made my way towards the opening and looked around, and noticed the being crouched over a piece of parchment.
Excuse me, who are you? And why did you bring me here? Hello? Can you hear me?
I see you've acquired a map leading to a dangerous place. Do you have any idea where you are right now?
Well, I'm assuming I'm somewhere in the jungle. I'm looking for the Temple of Sonaris, which I believe I did already find before you interrupted.
Heed my warnings. Do not enter that foul place. It is filled with deadly traps, and dark spirits are bound to it.
I haven't traveled all this way to turn back now. I'm going into that temple, no matter what the risks.
Very well. Don't say I didn't warn you.
After ignoring this blatant warning, I turned and made my way to the exit of the cave.
Oh, by the way.
Huh? Questions started popping into my head. Who was this strange being? And could it be right in what it said about the temple? Rumors say that the Mitaku people built the temple to keep the magic of the artifact sealed away. It is also said that if this artifact ever makes its way out of that temple, the world will be consumed by its power. As I carried on my pursuit of the temple, I found before me a bridge. It looked old and quite unstable, but it seemed to be the only way across. I held on tight to the rope next to me and tried not to look down. About halfway across the bridge, I felt the wood give way. My foot bursted through the rotten wood. I was forced to look down and saw the fragments of wood plunge into the water far below me. Despite these clear signs telling me to turn around, I managed to make my way across the bridge, relatively unharmed. I had finally made it. I stood before the mighty temple of the Mitaku people. It was even more beautiful and grand than what I had ever imagined.
Now I had to find a way to open it. I looked at my map for some sort of clue on how to open the door. As I held onto the chain beside me to rest, it suddenly clicked and a faint light caught my attention. I pulled as hard as I could, but the door wouldn't open fully. I grabbed onto both of the chains and then pulled them with all of my strength. The door of the Mitaku temple was now open.